Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cute baby pencil charm. So the first thing we're going to do is roll out our clay into a cylinder shape. So first I'm going to roll it out into a ball, and then just going to use my fingers to roll it out into a cylinder. You don't want it too thin, you want to make sure you'll have enough room to put the face on. So I think this is, a good thickness and size. So after you have that and it's even and everything, just gonna pinch the end to make the point of your pencil. Just go around with your fingers, shaping it kind of like that. So once you have the point of your pencil done, you can go ahead and kind of flatten out the other side to make the eraser. So just like to use my finger, just kind of get rid of the the rounded area on the end. You can tap it on your surface, just make sure it's nice and flat. So once you've got your pencil shaped the way you want, we can go ahead and roll out some clay to make the little silver part that goes around the eraser. So I just have kind of a medium-sized piece of clay, and you're going to want to roll it out. Like, I like to do it paper thin, like super, super thin. I don't like it sticking out too much or being too thick around the charm. It might take a while, a lot of rolling to get it to the thickness you want, but I just prefer it to be pretty thin. So I'm just using a silicone rolling pin. You could probably use, whatever kind of rolling pin you want, but I feel like this is good because it's non-stick. So go ahead and just start rolling out your piece of clay really, really thin. So once you've got your clay rolled out pretty thin, you can kind of see how thin I got that there. You can go ahead and cut off a strip. I'm just using an old card to kind of get a nice straight edge on there. But if you have something else you want to use, just anything that can get you a nice straight edge will work. And I'm using an X-Acto to cut. So I'm just lining that up there. Cutting like that. That out of there. I'm going to go ahead and cut a strip. That looks good. So now you can go ahead and lay that right where you want it to be on your charm. Just kind of wrap it around like so. Making sure it's even. And then once you think they're kind of meeting together, the two pieces, or the two ends there, let's see, you can go ahead and cut it with your X-Acto. There we go. So you should have a band of clay all around the top of your pencil. So once you have that, you can go ahead and finesse with the needle. You can kind of seal up where the two ends meet. Just kind of smooth it out like that. Kind of go around the edge and push it to how you want it to be. There we go. And if you want to kind of roll it with your fingers and flatten it a little more against the charm, you can do that too. And just finesse with your needle until it looks just right. So once you've got your band smooth out, we can go ahead and add in the jump loop. Using my 22 gauge pink wire for this. So I'm just gonna form my loop. cut. And bend it at the bottom. There we go. And I'm going to insert it where the two ends of your band of clay met. Just because it's already a little bit, you know, it's kind of messed up already. So you might as well, you know, stick it in there. Kind of cover it up even more. Once you have that in, just use your needle to smooth it in. You can use some TLS too, right in there. So now that your pencil's sculpted, you can go ahead and bake it according to the directions on your clay, and then we can start painting. So this is a charm that I've already baked and reinforced along the jump ring with some super glue. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm using a medium pale yellow. We're just gonna put on our base coat with a nice wide flat brush here. Just go along, get it completely covered, nice and smooth. And do enough coats so that you don't see any of the clay underneath. So once you've got a nice thick base coat on there, the next thing we can do is add the kind of sharpened end of your pencil. I'm just using a nice tan brownish color, a medium-sized brush. Just go along the point. I like to make it kind of jagged, like you'd see on an actual sharpened pencil. Let's just go around and creating your shape there. So you might want to do a couple coats of this just to make sure it's totally opaque. So I've done about 3 coats for the brown part. And once that's completely dry, we can go ahead and add on the lead. I'm using black, but you can use a dark gray, like any kind of, you know, dark charcoaly color would work. So I'm just using my medium brush, very carefully, painting the very tip. Just go around. So after we've painted the lead, we can go ahead and get the eraser done. So I'm just using pink paint, medium brush. Just gonna go along and get that painted. And it's okay if you get some pink on the metal part, the band that's around, because you're gonna paint over that anyways. So once your eraser is all painted and dried, you can go ahead and add the silver to the metal part. So I'm just using this apple barrel. It's just a metallic silver. You can use gray too if you want, but I kind of like the silver. And I'm just gonna take some out of the cap. You might have to do a few coats of this because it's kind of translucent, at least this one is, this metallic paint. So just, you know, paint it on until it's nice and opaque. Just go along and try not to get it on your eraser or the pencil. So once you have all your different components painted and dried, you can go ahead and put on a pre-glaze, just a really, really thin coat. all around the charm. And I like to do this just to protect your charm while you're working on it, and it keeps, you know, dust and little flecks of paint from getting embedded into what you've already done. So it's just a nice, good thing to do. Make your life a little easier. So once your pre-glaze has dried, you can start on the eyes. I've already put one on and let it dry completely. You want to do that so you don't accidentally smudge it off while you're working on the other eye. So I'm just taking my dotting tool, using a medium brown, and just decide where you want your face to be. Kind of like it on the lower part of the pencil. Just carefully dot on your other eye. Like so. So once you've got your two eyes on and they're nice and dry, you can go ahead and paint on the mouth. Just using a super tiny brush and my brown paint. Just gonna lay on the color. And it's okay if it's not perfect, because you can go back in with your yellow and shape it and get it to look how you want. So I never get this right the first time. So just try to get it as best you can. Give yourself something to shape and work with. As you can see, that does not look good at all, but it will. Don't worry. So once that's dried, we can go ahead and take our yellow and shape the mouth into a better shape than what we have right now. So I'm going to use that same tiny brush. And I'm just going to go in, just shape it. So you can see I've been able to shape my mouth into a pretty good little smile there. So once that's nice and dry, you can go ahead and add on the cheeks, the same way that we did the eyes, just with pink paint. So dip in my dotter tool and just put on a dot beside each eye. Got one right there. To the other one. There we go. So once that's dry, we can go ahead and start glazing. So once he's dried, you can go ahead and dip him in our glaze. Getting completely covered. And then just use a brush to get off all the excess. And I like to repeat this process a few times. I like to get maybe like 4 or 5 coats of glaze on there, just so it's nice and thick and glossy. But you can do whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you think looks good. So once you're all done glazing, this is what your baby pencil charm should look like. Nice and shiny and cute. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about what I'm using, like what kind of paints or what kind of glaze, in the description I've put a list of all that stuff. So, I mean, if there's something that I haven't put that you're curious about, feel free to ask. But all that information is going to be in the description. So thanks so much for watching, guys.